If you're a supply chain professional, you are now in arguably one of the most relevant and exciting professions of the next 2 decades. And while this will create incredible opportunities, the domain of supply chain is really not that well defined. And that can be a stumbling block in maximizing your potential.
So a framework I've been using in my own career has helped me put structure around what supply chain is and has allowed me to zoom out, think bigger, harness the power of the supply web, and achieve results.
Over the next few minutes, I'll explain the 9 principles of the framework, which will help get you thinking bigger and put you on a path to supply chain success. So let's get started. Number 1, the frame.
A supply chain should always begin with its mission. For example, is it to bring a product to market? Is it to serve a particular customer segment? Or is it to serve a region? Think about the scope and frame it.
Number 2, anchors.
There are 5 anchors that hold your supply chain together. When one of these breaks, your supply chain breaks. Right at the top, just the tip of your supply chain iceberg, are your processing facilities, where products are manufactured or stocked or transformed. Right at the bottom, the very foundation of your supply chain, is supply and demand. And the vehicle that connects all of this together is inbound and outbound logistics.
Number 3, perspectives.
Let's put an x-axis onto this to uncover 3 primary perspectives. Processing is typically centered around the inside of the 4 walls of processing facilities. Supply side is focused on getting products or product ingredients from suppliers into processing facilities, and demand side is focused on getting products out of processing facilities to fulfill customer demand.
Number 4, functions.
Now let's put a y-axis on this to uncover 3 primary functions. Operations make sure processing facilities are functioning, and this expands into supply-side operations like receiving and accounts payable, and demand-side operations like shipping and accounts receivable. Logistics make sure products are moving through the supply chain both inbound and outbound, as well as between processing facilities. And planning and execution make sure that the right products are at the right place at the right time.
Number 5, the outer zone of the supply web, products.
These are the goods that move through the 5 anchors of the supply chain. Products are dependent on healthy ecosystems.
Number 6, the inner zone of the supply web, ecosystems.
These are the companies and organizations or individuals that are touching and handling products. Ecosystems are dependent on healthy environments.
Number 7, the hub zone of the supply web, environments.
Without a doubt, this is the most important part of the entire supply chain in the next 20 years. These are the geopolitical and socio-economic environments that are touching and handling products.
Number 8, threads.
The health and harmonization of the supply chain is dependent on 10 threads that go through all 3 zones of the supply web. To name just a few of them, all 3 zones need to be secure, compliant, responsible, sustainable. All 10 of them are explained on the Supply Web website.
Number 9, tiers.
Done right, the tiers of the supply chain should seamlessly connect together like Lego blocks.
So there you have it, a more structured way for you to think about supply chains as we move into the next 20 years. I've created some resources on my personal website, supplyweb.org, that might just help you become a supply chain superhero.